Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Is it messed up? I hoped you would be here, only so I could act like I don't care. Been a blur for the last 2 months. Got a glass on my lips and a burn in my chest. Got some little fingertips on the back of my neck. Gotta try to pretend, gotta try to forget somehow. But how we go from strangers kissing to kissing strangers, from not knowing your name to wishing I could erase it. Trying to forget what somebody knows that I'm missing you. How we go from
Shout out to Usher.
strangers.
That's some grown R&B right there. You know, again, will all of these songs, both Beyonce and Usher, get the full-on extended play? Maybe not. But they're worth a listen, and I'm definitely checking it out. Shout out to DJ Gigi Sweet in the chat. She said, my mom loved country music being from Nashville, Tennessee. I grew up listening to Loretta Lynn. Yes, yes. Crystal Gale. Don't it make my brown eyes turn blue? Something like that. I believe that's the Crystal Gale song. She had really, really long hair. Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. Islands in the Stream went #1 on the charts, I think the same year, like 85. So like When Doves Cry and stuff like that. Radio was really diverse. I'm telling you, there are songs, there are things where we definitely were latching on. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. So shout out to everybody in the chat. We have a caller on the line, Brother Alfonso from Lakewood. Welcome in. How are you tonight, Brother Alfonso?
I'm good. How you doing, Jill?
I'm great.
I enjoy your show. Thanks for having me on the line. I just want to speak quickly about this Shannon thing. Shannon needs to sit back and relax and realize he's got a nice thing going here, and everybody's trying to ride off the Shannon gravy train. Mm-hmm. Now, Mike Epps is just trying to get a piece of this money like everyone else is.
Facts.
Cat Williams now has sold-out shows. I try to get a ticket for the YouTube theater. Cannot get a ticket unless I'm going to buy on the higher ticket price. Mike Epps and other comedians are selling out places like the Improv, where somebody like Cat Williams can sell out the Microsoft Theater or Crypto, and they want that kind of money.
Yep.
So Shannon need to realize he's getting all mad and bent out of shape about these people sucking him into making jokes to get on part of the Shannon bandwagon. Shannon need to sit back and realize, hey, I'm making tons of money, broke the internet, has 50 to 60 million views with Cat Williams. Just ride this train out. So that's really my basic take on this. Shannon need to relax. Let him call him gay, woman, man, child, whatever. and move on with your business. So that's my take. That's what I want to call it about.
I agree with you, and I'm right there with you. Kat did not say anything about Mike bad in the interview, and I didn't catch Shannon trying to egg him to say anything bad. He asked, but I didn't think that it was
Nope.
like negative or there was some messy moments from Shannon. Uncle Shay Shay can definitely get in his windy bag. However, I think sometimes people put him there when he doesn't need to be. He will do it all on his own. No need to put extras. That's my opinion.
Yeah, there's a couple times where if you listen to the interview, Shannon slips a little bit and he starts saying a few things like when Monique was saying something about that time when interviewing about her having a husband, and then he said something about Tiffy had it. Oh no, she doesn't have a husband. I said,
Yeah, and she don't know your husband. Yeah, he was doing it.
Don't lead in, just listen. So Shannon does kind of slip a little bit and forget he's not at home talking, even though that's the kind of setting he has. So otherwise, I like Shannon's show. Love Mike Epps. Mike Epps is a comedian, and he has to remember these are comedians he's dealing with.
Exactly.
So just relax, Shannon, make your money, and go home.
100%. Thank you, Brother Alfonso.
Hold on.
Oh, well, no. Stay on the line.
Stay
on the line.
Don't go yet, because as you was,
that's Andy?
Yeah, as you were speaking, this is a random thought. Now, this is an alternative thought. Is it possible, because Mike Epps has expressed, like, yo, I'm trying to get up in there, right? Is it possible that maybe this quote-unquote beef could be contrived to build even more anticipation for whatever it is that they got going on? Like, they have the All-Star Weekend popping off, and just like the Super Bowl, a lot of these podcasts kind of had like their live podcasts. Is it possible that we may get a live Club Shay Shay with Mike Epps airing out their quote-unquote drama? Is it possible? I'm just thinking.
It's possible, but let me tell you why I don't think that it was set up. I don't think that it was set up because Shannon doesn't need it right now. He is not in a moment where it's like, let me get the eyeballs on me. The eyeballs are there. Do you know what I'm saying? They hit 1 million+ subscribers for Club Shay Shay last Thursday before this stuff even started, live on stage. Everybody is clamoring and calling to be a guest on the show. So right now, I'm not saying anybody is above stunts and shows. I'm just saying right now, there isn't a need for stunts and shows. The stunts and shows are stunting all on their own. I don't think they need any added flavor at this time. It might not always be that way, but that's just what I'm feeling right now.
Well, Jill, the only thing I will add to that, it may be a setup on the part of the comedians, because
100%.
that Monique has now been added to the Cat Williams tour.
Yep.
And if we see Mike Epps added, we know something's going on out there. So to be continuous, probably what, to Andy's point, we don't know what may be happening behind the scenes, because it seems like it's all comedians right now that he's got going on. So there may be something. I don't think it's a conspiracy on Shannon's part building this up. I don't think he's that sophisticated with this yet. But, hey, you never know. This comedian thing is really where it's at right now.
Listen, it very much is. I appreciate your call, Brother Alfonso. Always love your insight. And to the Monique thing, and yeah, call in more. Keep up with us. We appreciate it.
I definitely will.
Thank you.
You guys
have a
take care.
Good night. I appreciate it. Listen, to the thing about Monique, and I was going to mention this last hour. Monique performed her first 2 performances on the Dark Matters tour over the weekend. Both nights she got standing ovations when she came out. She also made it very clear that she knows that people were like, hey, Monique, you're a lady. What are you doing? Why are you speaking like that when you're on Shannon, but then when you're on your show, you're using all of this language? And she said, you need to understand that when she's on stage, she's rough, rugged, and raw, and she's going to give it to you. And people are saying that she should apologize to Oprah and Tyler. And she said that she apologized for them being, again, I wanted to play this for you guys, but Andy would have been, bleep, 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 bleep. You wouldn't have even been able to hear the joke. right? You wouldn't have been able to understand it. But what I suggest you do is to go hear Monique on the Dark Matters tour this weekend and what she said about expecting her to ever apologize to Oprah and the words and the names that she called Oprah and Tyler Perry. It definitely wasn't PG-13. So, that is where we are with that. I do think that, Mike Epps, again, made it known. I wish they had called my name. I'm trying to get da-da-da-da-da-da. But shout out to Mike Epps, too, because he's doing this whole thing where he bought the block, literally. He bought his old neighborhood in Indianapolis, in Indiana. And they're flipping the neighborhood. They're refurbishing and rebuilding the homes and the block in the area to make it affordable housing for the people in the area, but not in, something that's run down in some new places. So I think that is very important. He and his wife are doing that, and they're also executive producing the show. I believe it's on Netflix. The episodes are pretty good. So if you are interested, check it out. Shout out to Urban Spencer. She said Monique apologized for telling them to S her eggplant, and that's it. Yeah, and there was a lot of words with that. Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics and headlines, we'll get into this Larsa Pippen story, and I'll tell you why the WAGs, the Super Bowl WAGs, are arguing on social media. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, listen, just Shannon Sharp, Monique, Shay Shay, all of that. Shay Shay, relax. Really relax. I know it's hard. You are human and you had just gotten comfortable with being everybody's favorite. And now, listen, if you live long enough, you will watch your heroes turn into villains in somebody's eyes, right? Or you could watch it happen for yourself. So I think you should just relax. And especially when we're talking comedians, that's their job. They joke. You know, we don't know what kind of heat is flying behind the scenes, but really just, chill out and enjoy the wave. Shay Shay. And that's that. And his feelings really seem to be upset about the I don't date black women thing. And I don't know why either, because there's a period of time when you didn't. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, you may have dated all others, but there definitely was a time when that wasn't your preference for a minute. It's life. Do you know what I'm saying? Just don't go out there and get a young one just to prove a point, because we can pick up on those type of things, and then you might pick the wrong one. And we know you're very particular, Shannon. So, even if she doesn't know anything, she'll tell us all about the details of the NDA you had her sign or something like that. So, just relax and enjoy the moment and laugh with the comedians. Don't take that so seriously. I do wonder, though, he says that he was in Vegas doing work, so there's somebody else lined up next for Club Shay Shay. I wonder how many episodes they drop in a season and what's their strategy. And will anything change for him? Because, listen, shake and move. Got to keep it together. I forgot to mention that Cam and Mace said that Usher needs to calm down and be a snake. I really think people are overreacting about the Alicia Keys moment and him grabbing her. I know it's all in good fun because Usher takes your girl and stuff like that. But again, Usher and Alicia have known each other since they were teenagers. They're both show people. And we know Usher's reputation. He had to hug somebody. He can't go grab somebody out the audience like he does at his residency. So, what the heck? And the man got married the same day. He is not tripping. Alicia's probably too young for him. So anyway, let's keep that thing moving. Shout out again to all of them. We appreciate, just continuing to show up for us and give us the things. Even if you don't appreciate fully Alicia's voice, you can still appreciate her performance, the keyboards, Andy?
Being a little facetious here, but if Usher was over there hugging Michelle Obama like that, I think Obama would have issues with that.
But are they performing? Because here's the thing. They are performing a song called My Boo that is about young love rekindling. They are performers.
You could perform and not hug.
Huh?
I said you could perform and not hug.
But that's not in the spirit of the song.
Perception.
Perception. I think it's everything. Look. Speaking of, we'll probably get into this more later this week, but I just want you guys to be aware. The Sony Music Group has bought half of Michael Jackson's publishing and recorded masters catalog in a deal that some say is valued somewhere above $1.2 billion. So, people have always said Sony's been trying to get their hands on that since Michael bought it. And there were all types of rumors, because we love a good rumor. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that they finally got at least their hands on half of it. $1.2 billion.
Bet people won't boycott listening to Michael Jackson's music because of that.
I mean, so let me ask you, do you think they should?
Man, my little bit of understanding with that whole Sony situation with Michael Jackson. I mean, if you're a true Michael Jackson fan to heart, I wouldn't. I think
because he didn't want them to have them.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
I think the majority of us, and I stand to be corrected, all of us either have some sort of vinyl, CD, cassette. I would tap into that. But if you want to stick it to Sony, try not to stream any of Michael Jackson's songs because of that.
Well, I mean, that is a fair point. We'll have to see what happens. Listen, we're going to get into a little bit of music publishing and all of that conversation. I had it slated for tonight, but there's so much with the Super Bowl. We're going to roll with that tomorrow. We'll get into some old school hip hop with Eric Sermon and how much he gets in publishing. But I need to tell you about why the girls are fighting. So, listen, this is not the Sunbeams. Tasha Mack is not going to step in and make sure things go okay. The 76ers, the 49ers, and the Chiefs Wags are battling it out. See, this is what happened, right? Following the 49ers win over the Detroit Lions a couple weeks ago, they made a video because, there were those videos going around like, of course, I'm da-da-da-da-da, so naturally I'm going to do this, right? So the 49ers wives made one on the field like, of course I'm a wag wife and I'm going to the Super Bowl. Of course, it's cute stuff like that. And it had a couple of the different wives over there. Well, what happened last night? The Chiefs won. So the wives, I guess, maybe inspired by the trend. We won't say that they copied or jacked. We'll just say that, the trend hit them at the right moment and they had the space and place to do it. Well, they did their own. Of course, I'm a Chiefs wife winning my X amount of Super Bowl in whatever year's video or whatever going around. So that didn't sit well on social media. So some of the wives started commenting on the video, some of the 49ers wives, and were like, be original. And Coco, I'm not sure whose significant other she is, said, we are original. We just keep winning. And the other responded, another 49ers wife, by default, as usual. And then, there's some other little commentary back and forth. But the wags are fighting. Social media is bringing them out. So everybody's competitive, Again, if you're curious, I'm sure that if you do a little digging, you can dig up the tweets. There's a little bit more to it than that, but you get the general idea. It happens. Really quickly, I didn't touch on this. Patrick Mahomes, at 28 years old, now has 2 MVPs, 6 Pro Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, a $500 million contract, 4 properties across 2 states, ownership in Formula One racing, MLS, Major League Baseball, National Women's Soccer League teams, plus deals with Adidas, Prime, Subway, State Farm, and Oakley. So suffice it to say, we kind of know who the face of the NFL is right now, right? In addition to that, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes together have won 3 Super Bowls, 4 AFC championships. They have the most postseason touchdowns together ever. They co-own together Alpine F1. They also star together in those State Farm commercials, and they are the highest paid QB and tight end duo ever. So if you're looking for your next dynasty, in case there were any doubts in your mind, tap into Kansas City, because it looks like, at least for a little bit more time, they're going to be able to keep it together. So, good luck to all of that. Andy?
Can we also acknowledge that in Black History Month that we have the first black quarterback to win back-to-back Super Bowls?
Yes, we do. Now, I know that there's a lot of conversation about that. I am going to roll with his daddy said he's Mahomes. So mama say, no, I'm just kidding. Listen, I'm not going to get into a big back and forth about that. If you want to say he's biracial and slide it under there, go ahead. We're going to take this win in Black History Month. Shout out to Lamar Jackson for winning his second MVP the other night. There was, oh my God, I wish, did I put it in my notes? There was some comparison of 2020 and 2024, how the same thing happened in 2020 that is happening in 2024 as far as the Super Bowl, Lamar winning MVP, and some other random things in life. I guess I didn't save it. I'll have to find it and get back to you guys on it. But, you know, we're keeping an eye out on those little oddities that seem to pop up just because, listen, we got a new one in the mix with Taylor Swift. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what that means. Just kidding, of course. So, speaking of Kanye, I mentioned that he allegedly, got $19 million in sales for his Yeezy line after his $7 million 30-second Super Bowl commercial spot that he made in the back of his car with his car phone. The question that I have to ask is, if anybody else submitted a commercial like that, would it make it through? Would it make it through the quality control? I guess it kind of doesn't matter. That's why I'm curious. Granted, Kanye lost a lot of money and a lot of deals, but is he really canceled? I mean, he got a $7 million spot. I'm sure there's lots of people that would like a spot. Did you see Temu? Temu, is that how you pronounce it? Temu. Okay, listen, they had like 3 spots. Let me find out Temu got money. They charge $5 for a little end table and a lamp, and you can furnish your whole living room for like $25. But they had 3 Super Bowl spots, balling out of control. You guys must really be spending it up over there. Listen, we talked about what I feel was a little bit of lack of creativity in a lot of the Super Bowl commercials. Some of them just felt cut and paste, like we were supposed to laugh. Again, the Dunkin' Donuts one, though, I giggled, I laughed. But the rest of these, I don't know. It's a lot happening in the world. And like I said, I was shocked to find out exactly how much money these religious organizations have, because they sure did get it in there. I was shocked that they were spending it on a Super Bowl commercial, because to me, that is just like a blatant display of your wealth. And again, I understand you wanting to send that message to the masses, maybe one, but to do it twice, again, just feels wasteful.
I saw somebody on X basically say that Christians got money too.
I mean, they do.
In comparison to,
they do, people tithe, and as they should. But listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into this Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan story. Another situation of, hi, Larsa, is it Arrested Development? We'll get into that on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580, news and sports on the other side.
We go from strangers kissing to kissing strangers, from not knowing your name to wishing I could erase it, trying to forget what somebody knows that I'm missing you. How we go from strangers kissing to kissing strangers, from feeling every heart there is to just feeling anxious, trying to forget in a crowded room that I'm missing you.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, who is black, is recommending there be no school Wednesday so that everyone can attend the city's Super Bowl victory parade. The Kansas City Chiefs won their 3rd Super Bowl title in 5 years over the weekend. They are the first team to win back-to-back NFL championships in almost 20 years. When the Chiefs won last year, close to 1 million people flooded downtown streets for a victory parade and rally. Farmington Public School parents in Michigan are voicing frustrations after an alleged incident involving a teacher using a racial slur was reported. East Middle School principal Drew LaCroix sent a letter to families at the end of January saying a teacher used an anti-black slur repeatedly while explaining to students the language was not appropriate. The Farmington African American Parent Network spoke at a school board meeting this month, with many parents expressing frustration, disappointment, and anger over the issue. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Progressive Insurance is making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Watch out! You got me! The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I used to love when Rick James would tell the Temptations to sing. I don't know why. It just always stood out to me. Welcome back into Hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Andy for that Rick James and Temptations standing on the top. You know, Rick quietly, revitalized some of the classics and jump-started some of the others' careers in that time period. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time, cult classic. He had a couple of songs with the Temptations, that one, and there was something else, and then there was someone else that he worked with, Smokey Robinson, when they did Ebony Eyes. So, shout out to Rick James. I believe was Rick in Aquarius? Did his birthday recently pass? I feel as though it might have, so shout out to him. Urban Spinster is getting our astrology together for us. She said that she quickly searched what sign is Travis Kelce, and it came up that Travis is a Libra sun with a Sagittarius moon, while Taylor Swift is a Sagittarius sun with a Cancer moon. So Libras and Sags are a good coupling. And with him having the same, his moon sign, which are his emotions, as the same as her sun sign, that means that they connect really well. Shout out to Brother Alfonso for recognizing, Rick James is an underrated producer. Listen, what he did with the Mary Jane Girls, a bunch of different things. Rick had his thing. I never realized until I was older how much beef Rick James had with Prince. But I can see it. I can understand it more so now, but I never understood it when I was a kid. But listen, I wonder, and it's probably been talked about, and forgive me if I'm forgetting, I wonder if Rick thought it was colorism why Prince got a little bit more burn. Just wondering, because, they're not dissimilar in a lot of ways, and Prince very much was called raunchy, but it feels like Rick got a much more raunchier, rep as far as the stuff. It just feels different. Anyway, I love them both. So there's that. I'm a big fan of instrumentation, live performance, guitar, strings, those layered stack harmonies. If you can give me that, I'm going to appreciate whatever you're bringing to the mix. Really quickly, I want to go back to, I've been talking about our Black country roots and the stuff that we've listened to over time. And I mentioned that a lot of Black artists, especially in the 70s, did theme albums. So whether it was show tunes or country music, it would be like, The Temptations does country or something like that. So just to give you a couple of more examples of what's out there, once again, reminding you that this isn't just something that we're jumping in. And make no mistake about it, Beyonce knows her history. So Millie Jackson did Just a Little Bit Country. That is also a line that, I don't know if you guys remember Donnie and Marie. They used to have a variety special on with all of the Osmond sisters. They were Mormons from Utah, but they were a pop group. And they had a variety special, not unlike the Jacksons. I feel like Donnie and Marie actually were brought out to counter the Jacksons as far as the Osmond family. But anyway, they had a song that went, I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll. Marie was the little bit of country. Donnie was the little bit of rock and roll. It was really popular. They also had Barbies. So there you go. Millie Jackson also had on the soul country side, Little Richard had an album where on the cover he was actually milking a cow, and it was called Southern Child. Tina Turner has Tina Turner, the country, Tina Turns the Country On, excuse me. So again, this is not new. Don't let them act like it's not an area that we haven't been a part of. Honky Tonk Blues is a legendary song. Charlie Pride. That is really the only Black country singer that I remembered growing up as a child, but I knew he was there. And then, like I said, we listened to Kenny Rogers. Gigi Sweet named a bunch that we checked out. And Dolly Parton, 9 to 5, poured myself a cup of ambition. Listen, we got it. So do your thing, Miss Beyonce. people will be there to embrace you. And even if it doesn't go number one on Billboard, you know that one, your audience is going to show up for you. Two, you're going to sell a lot of cowboy hats and chaps and whatever other fan memorabilia and things of that nature we have. Three, why not do something else? There's a song called Play Misty for Me. I remember Monica remade that too. Is that considered blues or is that considered country? I really believe that people are sleeping with the examples of us as far as even R&B or whatever. I know we've gotten away from some things, and I know it's different now because we're all down into our niches and we don't, step outside of the box, but we appreciate it. Urban Spinster says ODB sang that line on Mariah Carey's song. He sure did. I remember that. Listen, that is the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. There are a lot of references that we would drop into music across things that were from other genres of music, other types of entertainment, and we would all get them because we used to be more open. I feel, well, one, we didn't have a choice because there weren't as many channels and as many options to watch things. So it was much easier to tap in to a central moment in the culture or whatever and not have to explain a whole lot. But I do believe that we don't spread our wings as much as we used to. And it's okay to love everything black and root for everybody black. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong to peek over the fence and look at what's going on the other side or have some appreciation for it. Again, it's appreciation versus appropriation. I think that you understand the lines clearly, and we know it when we see it, but we can't go around causing alarms unnecessarily. But that's a conversation for another day, and obviously it's subjective. When we come forward, we're going to get into this Larsa and Marcus story, and I have more trending topics and headlines for you, plus some news you can use. All of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, looks like we won't be getting a Jordan Pippen union after all. At least not right now. So, Larsa Pippen, or loss prevention, as Trent the artist, likes to refer to her as. She and Marcus Jordan have split up. You know, the telltale sign happened. The two unfollowed each other on Instagram. And we know that Larsa is one of the stars of The Real Housewives of Miami. She and Marcus also had a podcast together. They've been dating since September 2022. They initially denied it, but came out, I guess, in January of 2023. Would you say? Oh, okay. Listen, in addition to unfollowing each other, they have scrubbed their Instagram of all of their photos together. You know that takes a second. I don't like to work that hard. Why do it? But I do think that Larsa, she should, grow up a little bit. No shade, no tea, but why are you posting on social media after the breakup? Listen, should your friends unfollow your ex? Hi, can we be adults here? Larsa, you're in your 40s. What are you doing? We don't need to talk about that. So, I don't know. It's not like we really, really expected this to go far. We know that Jordan, Marcus's dad, MJ, indicated that he wasn't too happy about the situation. They came back and refuted those things, but didn't seem like it. Larsa did say that she was embarrassed and traumatized by the incident, but Marcus tried to reassure her. The poll, come on, man. Well, Marcus, he posted on his story, he and his dad, and was like, MJ times 2. So that's how he spent Super Bowl Sunday. And I tell you what, Mike looked very smiley. So I'm sure he is happy that his son is moving in a different direction. We'll see what happens. Like I said, they had their podcast together, Separation Anxiety. Not sure what's going to happen with that. But for now, it looks like the two have moved around and moved on. So, congratulations to them. What am I congratulating them for? Congratulations to the families on the other side that felt embarrassment or, struggle because of the union and had to deal with anything. So hopefully, it's not too bad and everything will be much, much better. So Urban Spinster is shouting out a sample on Snoop Dogg some years back. I guess it's a BG sample because we were talking about them in the chat. Prester John said, I'm scared to learn about my musical heroes nowadays. The BJs might have been in the Australian clan back in the day. That's a good point. It is kind of adventurous when you hear that one of your favorite old school artists or someone that was seemingly unproblematic is getting a biopic made about them, because you have to make it interesting. And it definitely unearths old secrets. I think it just boils down to the fact that people are human and sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes they're big ones. And I feel like if you see the person has done the work and has atoned for that mistake and they seem to be a different person, forgive them. It is really up to you. It is your choice. If you don't, move around, the world will continue to spin. But we got to get used to the fact that our heroes are human as well. Our faves or whatever, they're going to mess up. Players mess up. It happens. And by players, I'm not talking about sports. I just mean in general, Preston John said they should call it codependency anxiety. Maybe not. I think, look, anything for clout, and you have to do a lot to cut through the clutter these days and stand out. So people will try different things, We'll have to see what happens. Brother Alfonso said, dang, not the Australian clan. I hope not, though. I would be really sad because, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, that was my move. I definitely had a Sesame Street Fever version of that album, complete with Grover, Ernie, and Bert as the Bee Gees. And I think, was it Grover that was doing the John Travolta point on the cover? I can't remember. That was so long ago, but it was one of my favorites. Okay, so listen, Mace said that Usher is a terrorist and he needs to stop messing with people's wives. Lil Boosie says, enough is enough, bro. You need to apologize to Swish. She's married, my dog. I know that wasn't planned. Again, people need to calm down. It's called showmanship. Keeps you guys talking, keeps you guys interested, keeps you active. However, I suppose by that same token, commenting on it keeps you guys active, keeps you guys interested, keeps you guys engaged. Speaking of, you know that KBLA Talk 1580 is your election information station, and we just released our first ever survey of Black LA County voters. The groundbreaking results highlight a wide open LA County District Attorney's race, plus the Black community's views on crime, criminal justice, and other key issues that aren't being addressed by the DA candidates. To see the unique results of our very first political poll of likely Black voters in LA County, lock in to KBLA1580.com. Check it out while you're there. Make sure to take a moment to fill out our climate justice survey. And also, get yourself caught up with a rundown of all the candidates that we've interviewed on the station so far. It's just a good idea. It's the right thing to do, right? So check it out. Get into that. There is no station in Southern California that is covering this important election the way that we are. So know that KBLA Talk 1580 has your Black, and stay tapped in and connected. Wow. These last few hours have flown by. I cannot believe it. And there's still so much more, so many other stories that I didn't touch on. But the good thing about that is, where we'll be tomorrow, right here, locked in, ready to go with more trending topics, more headlines, a little bit of a teaser of what we're going to get into. Your guy Tyrese is back crying on Instagram. He has some things with his new fiance that are not going the right way. So we'll get into that for you. We're also going to catch you up on what is going on with the beef between these female MCs, Lotto, Ice Spice, etc., etc. Lotto looked, not Lotto, sorry, my bad. Ice Spice looked cute in the booth with Taylor and the others. Certainly was an odd mix in that booth. I mean, of course, that's what you come to expect, but just listen. Michael Rubin, I believe that's his name, the guy that heads up Fanatics. He had another party over the weekend. I think Future performed at that one. I saw 21 Savage at another party, and Kendrick Lamar also popped out and performed at Super Bowl this weekend. So again, Vegas was the move. Expect for Super Bowl to be back there maybe as soon as 2028. Will you be in the building? And tomorrow we're also going to give you an update on Usher's ticket sales, see what type of effect the Super Bowl halo effect is having on him. And we're going to get into, listen, do you remember Bo Jackson? Bo knows sports, Bo knows football. Bo has had to get a protective order against some family members. So we're going to give you the details of all of that. And we're going to get into who turned Kanye West down for samples and how they're lashing out as the Vultures 2 album is out there for the people released. I wonder what kind of, well, Kendi told us what kind of numbers. I mean, we'll have to go back and check and make sure it's still number one or that it made it to number one. Kanye is interesting. Definitely not canceled, but definitely in a weird space as far as all of that is concerned. Shout out to Brother Alfonso in the chat. He said, thanks for a great show and having me on air. We appreciate you. Call back anytime. We love to hear from you. Have a great night. Prester John says, Tyrese crying like Nipsey Russell. Man, you took it back. Nipsey Russell. Most people don't know who that is. Listen, thanks, folks, for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Pacific time to do it again. On the other side, we have the best of KBLA coming up for you. Make sure that you have an amazing night. Stay warm if you're in LA. Appreciate you locking in. We'll see you tomorrow.
I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, that music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning. I'm Ray Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network.